How's it, guys? And welcome back to the Diverge Podcast. This week, we're looking ahead at the opening round of the UCI MTB World Series, which takes place in Brazil, and then looking at the Nedbank Gravel Burn and the moves that they've made recently and big sponsorship announcements that they've made recently. But kicking it off, over in Brazil for the start of the Mountain Bike World Cup, it's the cross-country riders are taking to the course there. And the first thing to report from that is that it's absolutely pouring with rain there today. Track walk looked very, very wet. There was an amber alert for flooding and heavy rain today, Thursday, and then more rain on Friday, and then rain sporadically through the day. 90% chance of rain again on Saturday as well. So it is going to be wet. You only hope that the course drains a little bit better than the Spanish course did for one of the warm-up races in February, where it was an absolute just mud fest, just that peanut butter mud. Terrible, disgusting, unrideable at times. So you hope that that's not going to be the case for the three South Africans that are out there in Brazil for the opening round of the Mountain Bike World Cup, or World Series as it is now. Of course, Candice Lill is there. She's really looking to start the season strongly, hopefully start with maybe even a victory. So I know she's targeting wins this year. She's been open about saying she's going for victories this year. So best of luck to Candice there, and hopefully the weather plays along as well. Or maybe mud is what she really needs, and that she thrives best in terrible conditions. So we'll see how that goes. Luke Moir over there as well with his Mondraker team, or sort of semi with his Mondraker team, because of course he's not part of the factory setup, just supported by them. So it can be good to see how he goes. His last year of under 23 racing. So, along with the fact that this is the season to really prove himself. And he started it well back here in South Africa. And obviously, after losing out on his team and then getting the support, all the local support, and then Mondraker stepping in and helping him out, obviously been quite an emotional start to the year for him. But he is highly, highly motivated to succeed, and it will be great to see how he goes. He was fifth there last year as well, so a course that suits him. And, of course, that was in his penultimate year as a U23. So a year on, year stronger, year wiser, and a year more senior in the category as well, which will obviously help. Tyler Jacobs is out there as well. She's with Live Factory Racing now. Her first race with a factory racing setup. She is still under 23 as well. So Tyler and Luke will be setting out earlier in both days on the short track on Saturday, and then for the XCO on Sunday. Watching the UCI MTB World Series this year is going to be a little bit tricky for South Africans. Well, not tricky, because it is on Supersport. I hope it is going to be all season on Supersport. The Brazilian events, though, will be on Supersport. The under-23s, a lot easier to watch. You can watch those live on the UCI World Series' YouTube channel. So for this weekend, the important things to remember, and this is quite a lot to hope of, I needed 2 takes of this. Let's hope it's only 2 takes of this to get it down. So the racing kicks off on Saturday at 15:45 South African time. That is correct. 15:45 South African time, with the U23 women's XCC races. And then at 17:45, you have to tune in to Supersport. That's Supersport 6 for the XCC and the women's, the elite women's, and then the elite men. And just after that, the next day, Sunday, for the XCO races, 2:00, the racing gets underway on YouTube. That's the under-23 woman. Tyler Jacobs goes in that. And then at 6:30 in the evening, tune in back in on Supersport for the elite woman to watch Candice Lill race on Supersport 10, 6:30 in the evening. And then the elite men are straight after the women's race. So you can stay there on Supersport to watch all of that. There is a chance that you will be able to watch on YouTube or through the UCI mountain biking's website, but you're going to need a VPN for that, and you're going to need to figure out what country to set your VPN to. I haven't actually delved into that completely yet myself. I think you might be able to go Belgium or South America outside of Brazil and Argentina, so Chile or Colombia or somewhere like that with your VPN in order to watch it. I don't know what that's going to do to the languages, though. I don't know if you're going to need to look for an English-speaking country that's not on the broadcast list in order to get the broadcast in English. I'm going to have to delve deeper for you for that one, I'm afraid. But otherwise, subscribe to Supersport for the week and watch that, and the Tour de Flanders, not the week, for the month, for April. Watch the Tour de Flanders as well, and watch Roubaix. Those are going to be absolutely fantastic too. Then Nedbank Gravel Burn, and I saw Neil Gardner. I've chatted to Sarah Harrop as well, and there's very exciting things happening there. Lots and lots going on. They've broken ground on those burn camps, which I have to be honest, I was skeptical of at first because it's so remote in the Eastern Cape on farms, and how they're going to logistically roll out for 800 riders in remote areas where water is a problem. Providing luxury is going to be a problem, but they are going big at it, and they've got big sponsors on board. So along with Nedbank, who are obviously the title sponsor, they already announced ASOS towards the end of last year as the cycling apparel partner. They have now, in the last couple of weeks, announced a nutrition partner in AMACX. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. They are Tom Pidcock and Pauline Ferrand-Prevot's sponsors there. So some good endorsements from some of the world's best riders for their nutrition products. Then some more familiar names to South African, especially mountain bikers. Mirandal has joined as the wine partner. Wine for the riders, can't go wrong with that. And Vida Cafe have just come in as well as the official coffee partner. Another interesting one is the fact that everybody is, of course, you have to stay in the race village. There's no other accommodation around. So your entry comes with that race village accommodation. But then also staying in those canvas tents, the two-person canvas tents. Each rider has their own canvas tent, but each rider also has their own disco bed stretcher, basically. It's a very cool stretcher design. They are used in emergency situations quite a lot in like field hospitals, but you can also buy them at outdoor warehouses and places like that. Looks like a super cool system. So it's going to be the stretcher, a thin mattress on top of that. So you're going to be off the ground, and that should keep you warmer in the cold, cooler in the heat. So it's going to be that's a very interesting and very nice development there for the riders that have already entered into Gravel Burn. Lots of other developments coming out there. So it's a good one to keep an eye on, follow them on social media, see what is happening there, because they are definitely making waves in the eventing space in South Africa. But aside from the commercial attractiveness of gravel racing and the attraction that I've definitely heard from the European road pros as well, of wanting to come out, wanting to participate, maybe not necessarily wanting to race, just to do it with friends or to do it with a girlfriend or a wife or something like that. A little bit more relaxed, but, big names nonetheless coming out, like Jasper Stuyven, who's already committed, and some cool American names who are in line to commit but haven't announced yet. So it's not my place to mention their names just quite yet. But along with that interest, I think the other thing that is never to be underestimated is Kevin Vermaak's ability to sell that dream, especially to corporate partners, and to get corporates believing in what they are going to do. And that is something that you really cannot underestimate. And being able to bring the money in and then to use that to activate on the event is his ability to do that is absolutely unparalleled. And so, yeah, as we go along, my own skepticism of how they're going to be able to roll it out logistically is dissipating, just because of the sheer financial force that is gathering behind Gravel Burn. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see, and if the international pros' enthusiasm for it is anything to go by, it's going to be a hell of an event as well, both in racing terms, but also just in the buzz and the social media behind it. That views are vanity, but yeah, it's still cool, and it'll be amazing to see some of those very, very big names out in South Africa racing their bikes or riding their bikes. Yeah, it's been a long time since the very biggest names in global cycling have come out to South Africa, and even if some of those are maybe a little bit older, still it's going to be really cool. So we're going to be watching that as well. And as per usual, you can find all this news and more on diverge.info. So go and read it there. And yeah, until next time, thank you very much for tuning in to the Diverge Podcast.